happy Sunday. It is August 26th. As you just saw from that B-roll from my morning, it was a very productive one. And normally Sundays are my self-care days, but I have so much coming up, like so much stuff that I need to prepare for, that I'm gonna have to skip out on a self-care Sunday. This is not something I would recommend. I will make up for it sometime this week, but I really need to use the time this weekend to get some stuff done because I've got a lot of deadlines looming. There's a lot of pressure, but it's all gonna be okay. So, first things first, I am leaving for Bali next week. And when you guys see this vlog, I will already be in Bali. Just as a heads up, the next couple of vlogs will be taking place in August. So it may seem like a really long time ago that I filmed this footage, and I guess it kind of is, but I will be in Bali. So that's a 2.5 week trip where I'm not really going to be able to vlog and get videos up. So I'm doing everything ahead of time to make sure that there is content for you guys to watch. So along with Skyping with Kayla and getting all of the Bali workshops finalized and underway, we are also doing feedback rounds, like first chapter critiques for all of the lovely ladies who are going. So that's something that I need to work on today, is to really go through those chapters. I'm so happy that I'm able to actually sit down and really focus on that today, because over the past couple of weeks, I've been doing the final proofread of Renegade Crew. It was actually more like the final edit, because at the last minute I decided to add in a subplot, because this is my brain, but it's a good subplot. It's one that needed to be added in. So a little bit close to the wire at this stage in the game, with it coming out October 9th. I usually don't write anything new this close to the release date, but that is one of the perks of being an indie author and kind of being your own boss, is that I can do that. If I feel like adding it in and I think it's gonna make a great, you know, a great addition to the story, then I can do that. So this is actually what I'm doing right now. I just uploaded Renegade Crew to CreateSpace. As you can see, it's 428 pages. So it is a behemoth of a book. This was really important for me to do today because it does take 24 hours for CreateSpace to comb through the document and make sure everything looks good to approve it. And then I get an email saying that it's been approved and that I'm able to go and actually order a physical copy of the book. And I want to make sure I have that book in my hands before I leave for Bali, so that way I can do the final proofread for this book to make sure that it is ready to go for its release date on October 9th, which I'm so excited about. And I'm also going to be filming a bunch of content today and recording quite a few podcast episodes. And then later this week, I will be editing those, making sure they're uploaded, just really getting my schedule organized for my content for YouTube and podcasting, and also just making sure that I am good to go with other podcast interviews. I have a couple that I will be a guest on, so I need to kind of look through my calendar and mark those down, see when those will be going live, schedule my social media posts. So today is really a lot of the behind the scenes work as an author and kind of the business of being a self-published author and a creative entrepreneur. So that's what you guys are going to see today. I also need to run to the grocery store because I have 0 groceries in the house. Okay, that might be a slight over-exaggeration, but I really do need to get some food, and then I need to run to my P.O. box because it has been a hot minute since I have checked to see if there are any packages or mail in there. Okay, so I'm going to review this document, launch the interior reviewer, make sure it looks good, at least on the computer, and then I'm going to submit it to CreateSpace, and hopefully tomorrow morning I will wake up with an email so I can place my order for the actual book. Okay, so it is 11 o'clock in the morning, so I'm doing pretty good. I feel like I've just been, I've been on my computer all day, so I need to get out of the house and I need to go to the grocery store. So I'm gonna take you guys along with me, and then we're gonna come back here, and I'm probably going to sit on the couch and do some critiques for those first chapters. That'll be really fun. The really awesome thing about finally finishing your manuscript and kind of going through the final proofread, even though I'm doing one more, but getting it to a point where I know that, 428 pages is the final page count. I'm not adding anything else in, and that's just little stuff like actual proofreading, grammatical errors, and just kind of looking at the formatting on the pages just feels so amazing, because I've been so focused on this that I haven't been able to read for pleasure. And as you can see behind me, I have plenty of books to choose from. So I need to pick one. I don't know which one I'm gonna read yet, but I really just wanna have a couple of days where I'm just not thinking about my actual books and I just wanna read. That's all I feel like doing. You would think I wouldn't want to read anymore after going through my manuscript so many times, but there's something different about reading your own words versus someone else's words. So I would like to dive into another world besides the Shadow Crown world for just a little bit, and then I'll come back to it. So, we'll have to see what book I'm gonna read. I really liked Hush Hush, and I'm kind of, since, you know, we're getting into fall, I'm kind of in the mood to finish reading that series. And I started Crescendo a while ago, and then I started reading something else. So maybe I'll pick that one back up. I don't know. Let me know what you guys are reading in the comments down below, if it's any good, if it's a book I should pick up, because while I have plenty that I need to read, nothing's really popping out at me.
I'm looking outside my window. I try to see where my luck goes. I just don't know how it slips out. There must be
for a Sunday, there sure are a lot of people here. It's alright, let's get some groceries.
A pretty guy with a halo, but who am I kidding, please now? I gotta realize that you
It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm having some Haagen-Dazs chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. Saw it in the ice cream aisle. Had to get it, so good. I really should stop eating this or I'm gonna spoil my dinner. But I think I'm just going to take a second to maybe put on some Netflix, probably grab those chapters, those first chapters. So that's next up on the agenda. I need to put this away. Okay, so I know I said I was going to read those first chapters, and that is something I'm going to do later once I'm in bed and kind of winding down for the night, but since there's still daylight and I really need to get these YouTube videos filmed, that is what I'm going to do right now. So fortunately, I have 2 cameras, so I'll be able to kind of set this up and sort of show a B-roll behind the scenes process. I've got one video that I need to film that's more of a sit down video, and then the other 2 are more vlog style, so I will just be getting some shots, some B-roll, things like that. So let's get to it. So I just finished exporting the footage, started editing that in Final Cut Pro, because yes, I have upgraded from iMovie to Final Cut Pro and I'm loving it. I'm still working out the kinks and kind of learning. I'm still learning, but it's going well so far. But many of you are very observant and you probably noticed what I'm wearing in this vlog, so you'll know that this video just went up last week. It's episode 2 of Habits for the Productive Writer. So yeah, that's the one I just filmed and started editing, and this vlog will be going up a week after that video goes live. So I may take a bit of a break. I'm getting a little hungry and I think I might have some hummus and carrots, and then I'm going to get some B-roll while the sun is still up, and then I'm probably gonna go ahead and change out of this outfit, take out the earrings, just kind of start winding down a little bit and either read a book, but more likely than not, read some of those Bali chapters, because that I really need to I really need to get going on that. She's always allowed in here except for when I'm filming. I just changed into something more comfortable. My I'd rather be in London shirt. Shout out to Vivian for sending this to me, because it's so true. If I could live in London, I would. Are you being a stinker? Are you being a stinker? Oh, that's my lipstick. You can't have it. You can't have it. You're so sneaky. You're so sneaky. You see something? I love you, Nolly. I love you very much. It is now 5 o'clock in the evening. I just finished reading some of the Bali chapters. I read 3 chapters in total and I have 10 that I need to read, so it's a really good start. I think I'm gonna take a bit of a break though, because I really I've been chugging along today and it's been a very productive day, but it is 5 o'clock and that's kind of my, it's kind of my cutoff time. Like, I'm done with work for the day. It's time to have a little me time, especially since Sundays are normally my self-care days. I want to make sure I do stick to that somewhat. So I got as much done as I could today, and I'm really proud of everything that I accomplished, because looking back through my to-do list and all the things I marked off, I realized how much I actually did get done today. So it was a very productive Sunday, but I am tired. Now, I did mention when I came back to YouTube from my hiatus this past summer that I wanted these vlogs to have a little bit more of a focus or a theme. So today, since we've been going through my day and, you know, being really productive, I wanted to share some of my advice, my tips, some of the things that I do to ensure that I do have productive days, especially over the weekends. I know the weekends can be rough, especially if you work a 9-to-5 job. You know, you're just working through the week and you want to just relax on the weekends, but especially if you're in your author journey or you're a creative entrepreneur and you're building your platform and writing your books, you have to use your weekends wisely. So I want to share some of the things that I do to be more productive and to ensure that I am making the most out of all of my days, not just my weekends, but all of my days. So first and foremost, know what it is you have to do the next day. Have a plan, make a plan, write it down. If you don't know what's upcoming and what things you need to get done, then they're not going to get done. How can you expect them to get done if you don't even know what they are? Every single night before I go to bed, I look through my day planner. I go through what I have coming up for that next week, especially on Sundays, but I do this every night just to kind of like refresh myself, because a lot happens during the days and it's very easy for me to get jumbled. So every single night I look through my day planner, I see what I have coming up, and I make a list of the things that I need to do in order to prepare for whatever that event is or whatever that project is, or what things I need to do maybe after it's happened. So like, for instance, if I am a guest interviewee on a podcast, I want to make sure I not only attend the podcast and, you know, interview and do all of that, but also that I know when it's going to go live. If the interviewer has certain images that they would like me to post on my social media. So it's not so much just prepping for certain things, but also the follow-up afterward that I think sometimes we kind of forget about. So not only do I make a plan for the things that I need to get done on my to-do list, I also make a plan for the follow-up items and how I'm going to maintain, how it's going to grow, what I need to do after that thing has already happened. The second thing I do, even on a Sunday, is wake up early. I try to wake up between 6 and 6:30 every single day. Sometimes on Saturdays, I'll let myself sleep in like an hour to maybe 7 or 7:30. But by waking up early, I'm able to really jumpstart my day and get going on things. If I sleep in, especially on the weekends, I don't know if anyone else feels like this, but it seems like my whole day is lost. Like, I had all this time in the morning that I could have used, but I spent it sleeping instead. Not that sleep isn't important. Never ever forego sleep, especially if you're sick or if you need to catch up on it. But for me, I know when I'm just sleeping in to be lazy and when I'm sleeping in because I actually need those hours to function properly. Waking up early on the weekends as well as during the weekdays can really help you to just be more productive and start your days off right. You won't feel so rushed or pressured or like panicked to get things done. You also won't feel so irritable and frustrated because you will have had the time that you needed in the morning to get those things done. Number 3 corresponds to the video that I made last week, episode 2 of Habits for the Productive Writer, which is to use your creative fuel and your cognitive fuel in the morning and do the hard things first. So when you make your to-do list the night before, star the things that maybe you're not really looking forward to doing, or the things that really require a lot of brain power. Because a lot of the time, if something requires a lot of energy and a lot of your focus, we can sometimes sort of procrastinate and put it off, and it can be something that we dread doing. So if you can get it done in the morning, because that's when you're most awake and refreshed, You just slept, you know, a full 7 or 8 hours. You need to use that creative fuel and that brain power on something that will add value, something that is important to you, something that you really need to get done. Because even for me, someone who's a night writer, even though my creativity is heightened at night, I notice that I am zapped. My energy levels are just much, much lower. So I can come up with ideas, but the thought of actually doing something with those ideas, I'd rather read a book or watch Netflix. So if you can get the things done, those difficult tasks or the things that maybe you know it's something that you would put off until the very end of the day, get that done first thing in the morning, and that will give you momentum and it will drive your day forward. Number 4 is to take mini breaks. So I always make sure that when I'm working on something, I never go for longer than 1 hour at a time. I notice after an hour, I start to get irritable because either I need to go to the restroom, I need to grab more water, some snacks, I need to just get up and move my body. So I never try to sit for longer than an hour. So I set a timer for an hour. I actually use the Forest app. It's free. And it's really awesome because you can't touch your phone, so you're not distracted by social media. And it plants a little tree. And so if you go onto your phone and exit out of the app, then your tree dies, which is really sad. And if I'm not mistaken, I am 99% sure that they actually plant real life trees. So not only are you planting your figurative trees in your forest, but you're also helping the environment and getting some more trees planted. So it may seem silly, like you would think breaks would actually make you less productive and it would be a waste of time, but they're not, because by taking those little chunks of time to yourself, you are actually going to prevent yourself from experiencing burnout. And the 5th thing I do is what I just did, is to have a stopping point, have an end point. So if you are someone who works from home, or you're a creative entrepreneur, or this is, you know, a weekend of yours, you gotta have a stopping point, because I know it can get the time can just really get away from you when you're working on something, and that's really great, but you have to set up a stopping point so that you know when it's time to shut everything down for the evening and just enjoy yourself, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Having set hours that you're working between can really help keep you disciplined and focused to not get distracted and go do something else. Let's say it's Sunday and you decide you're only going to work between the hours of 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. You're going to get so much more done in that small chunk of time because you know there's an end point. You know when you're starting and you know when you need to stop. So you're gonna try to cram as much as you possibly can in that period of time. And I found for me, if I have kind of a deadline or something I know I'm working up to, that stopping point, then I tend to be more productive because I'm doing as much as I can. I don't want to get distracted because I know that I'll have to stop at some point. And I want to end the day feeling proud, so I'm going to push through and do as much as I possibly can until 5 p.m. So those are my 5 little tips for how I stay productive, the things that I do in order to ensure that I have productive days. They may work for you, they may not. It's really all about knowing who you are as a person and how you function best, kind of doing some experiments to see what works best for you. I had to do a lot of experiments over the past year to really see what worked for me and what made me most productive. So if you have any productivity hacks, please leave them in the comments down below, because I would love to know what you do to have productive days. With that being said, I'm going to run a bubble bath and start this self-care Sunday, because I am done with work for the day. All right, so that is going to conclude this vlog. I just got out of my bubble bath. I started rereading Crescendo. I got like 50 pages in and it's really good. So I want to continue reading, but I also really need to get to bed. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up to support my channel, and don't forget to subscribe. You can also hit that little bell and that will send you email notifications to your inbox whenever I upload new videos. On your way out, don't forget to check out both of my websites, KristenMartinBooks.com and ThatSmartHustle.com. You can find all the information about me, my books, courses, programs, travel, events, all that good stuff. And if you're not already, make sure you are following me on social media, most notably Instagram, to keep up with me and my days, and for writing inspiration, travel photos, and some fun Insta stories. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this. I hope you have a wonderful day or evening wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.